Beyond.
Welcome to Podcast Beyond. Episode 87. What is going on, everyone? We are here in the official podcasting room of Beyonding on the whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. Greg, what's going on, man?
DJPM 6KB8 PKFE.
Yes, take that as you will. Ryan, what's happening today?
Not much. How are you?
I'm good. Jeff?
Good.
I think I'm stunned by the cryptic nature of Greg's message.
People will find out
Or
what it
not.
is if they recognize kind of what it is.
Now I'm
They
going to tell eventually.
Well, maybe later on. But the people that hear it first, and we'll tell them what it is at the end of the podcast.
Indeed.
Okay.
Or maybe the beginning of Reader Mail.
Reader Mail?
And,
sometime during there.
Yeah, you'll find out what it is. But anyway, go ahead and use it as you can. First come, first
News
serve.
Whatever you
can
will.
We're both wearing hoods.
Yeah, we're also both wearing hoods. Hoods up.
Yes.
What's
Sam
up,
Bishop,
Max?
what's going on?
What up?
The bishop
Pimp
joins
stamp.
us.
We're up in this piece. Let's get right into the rope report.
Time for some news.
TJEH GDB2 CPG6.
Oh
So there's
my
actually
God.
some
I am
big news
stunned
this
here.
week.
What is
actually
this?
some big news? Number one, fresh on the wire this morning.
Huh?
John Madden has retired.
Never thought I'd see the day.
He is, and he's not announced a retirement in the future. He is already retired.
Whoa.
He's done.
Effective
That is it.
immediately.
Effective
That's really
past. Effective in the past, I guess.
Yes.
Put together in the boom.
So what you got to do is you got to get the ball in the end zone. You got to score some points and win the game.
And he goes over here. He does that.
I
He passes here.
refuse to climb a pole.
So there we go. Jeff, you have been contacting EA all morning. Have they said anything yet about what this is going to affect the Madden NFL franchise?
Actually, they basically had kind of a veiled comment from Peter Moore, who pretty much admitted that they appreciated the 21-year relationship that they've had with Madden. That this isn't going to be the end of Madden in any stretch of the imagination. That they're still looking forward to working with them in the future. So as far as you can tell, there's still going to be Madden. It's just going to be whether or not he's going to have any kind of connection or deeper connection to Madden now that he's got a little bit more free time. Doesn't have to drive the Madden cruiser around the country every single week during the football season. So, boom.
He
And if you
doesn't
need more
fly.
info, you can always go to IGN.com. Check out all the updated
Look at that
information.
little plug there.
There you go.
Love IGN.com.
Booyah.
Continuing on with the news, Assassin's Creed 2.
Yes.
Ass Creed 2?
So here's the thing. This morning, even though they released the teaser trailer 2 weeks ago, and it's in a magazine right now, and there's actually a second teaser trailer that went up this morning. Ubisoft today finally decided to officially announce the game.
Oh, good.
So good for them.
I thought it was all an elaborate April Fool's Day joke.
Now,
It's very, very big.
here's the interesting parts that came out of this. First off, release date window coming out winter 2009.
Indeed.
It's right around the corner.
Give or take right around the end of the year.
Jeez.
It could mean early 2010.
2010.
That's like quick turnaround.
But
It could happen.
when snow's on the ground in New York, we'll see the game. And then also so Ubisoft is not 100% confirming all of this per se, but what they have done is they said that it's coming to all current generation consoles. Although they won't officially confirm the Wii version, sounds like it's coming to there, but it's coming to PS3, 360, PC, and PSP.
Pistol.
So there you go.
Indeed.
And then it sounds like the Wii is also coming. If you have that, and you
I
want to play
hope the
that
Wii one has me use 2 Wiimotes, and I wear them around my wrists.
and then you stab people.
yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
Shink.
You have to
Killzone-
actually surgically implant the remote into your
That
arm.
sounds
Well, you've been playing a lot of Wolverine, so
Yeah,
I have
he's
been.
used
you
to
have that stabbing thing coming out of your hand.
I'm
so there
ready
you go.
anytime.
Uh-oh.
Stabby.
Does it hurt when they come out? Every time.
Oh, Ryan's falling apart. Ryan, what happened to you?
Ryan,
I just
oh.
noticed that these are just hanging.
Oh,
Is
well, that's
anyone
fine.
unplugged
Yeah.
I think
right
they're
You're
for
right.
extra headsets, aren't they?
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
I know. There's
Very
cables.
nice.
There's cables hanging around the room.
GDTP T9BE 3DR4.
There
What
you go.
is this madness?
Let's see. Killzone 2 DLC is coming at the end of the month, April 30th.
Yay!
The Steel and Titanium pack.
Steel and titanium.
There you go. Last week, we mentioned that... a few weeks ago, we mentioned that Sony has announced that Infamous was coming out June 9th. Woo! Then last week, guess what other game was coming out? Something kind of similar, Prototype. Coming out June 9th. Sony then flipped it around, said, nuh-uh.
They flipped the script?
Oh, no, son.
You ain't taking this from us.
Oh, snap.
Now Infamous is May 26th.
Oh, no, you didn't.
It is
Booyah
on.
Beyond.
Checkmate.
So there we go.
Do you
Infamous
think-
May 26th. I
Do you
like
think
it.
we have to worry at all about them rushing the QA process or anything
I
like
don't think
that?
so.
That
They've
game's
been polishing
done.
for a long time.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think it should be right.
That's just a shipping thing.
There we go. And the last bit of news that I'll mention this week is that on the PlayStation blog, if you're paying attention to it yesterday or reading ps3.ign.com, you'll see my story. PlayStation blog is hosting a poll for what you want to see in the God of War 3 Collector's Edition. Now, it doesn't say, were we to make one, it says, what do you want to see in it? So it seems pretty solid that one's coming. The first 2 games, here's my only worry about this. The first 2 games did not have a collector's edition, and they both included a ton of behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yes.
God of War 2 came with a full extra disc worth of crap. So hopefully that kind of stuff still makes it in the regular one. But, you kind of hardcore guys are going to be picking up the collector's edition. Anyway, the interesting bit about this is that the poll works, and it's a bunch of different questions. You pick from 1 to 10 how much you want to see it, included in the collector's edition. Do you want to see a T-shirt, a figurine, all that kind of crap? One of them says, so there's one that says, do you want to see the cutscenes from God of War 1 and 2 on a Blu-ray disc? But there's a separate one that just flat out says, God of War 1 and 2 on Blu-ray.
Hells yeah.
Which would mean that were that to come in the disc, you would be able to play God of War 1 and 2 on the PS3 on a Blu-ray disc. The interesting part is that a lot of PS3, all of them being purchased now, don't have backwards compatibility. You would not be able to play it, which would mean somehow Sony would have to make that playable on all PS3s. What does this mean? Does this mean the game is recompiled? Is it redone in some fashion? Will there be, software compatibility, backwards compatibility coming out around that time that would allow you to play this? We don't know, but it spells good news. I encourage everyone to go onto this poll at the PlayStation blog, blog.us.playstation.com. Go on there and vote 10 on the thing that says God of War 1 and 2 on Blu-ray disc.
That's right.
I want to see HD versions of this game hit. I want to see it.
Yeah.
And if they got Chains of Olympus on there as well, that'd be even better.
Really?
Get the whole.
That was all the
like
news.
a voucher
That
code.
was all the news. Greg, I think you have something else. Do you?
No, I'm not. I refuse.
No,
Oh,
you don't-
you mean for
You
more
refuse?
news?
Yeah, do you have any more news?
XP42
Yeah, Patapon 2, buddy.
Oh, yeah, Patapon 2. That's right.
No more UMDs for you.
That's right.
Straight digital. Digital only.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
It begins.
This is
So
madness.
now here's the thing. You can go into the store and you can purchase a card or whatever it is that's going to have a
you
code.
can buy something there.
That will cost you $20. And then, or if you purchase it directly from the PlayStation Store, it'll be $15.
Is that true? I never got that confirmed for my story.
That's what it sounds
That
like.
sounds right.
Okay.
I mean, they do that
No, it
for
sounds like
360
it makes
stuff now
sense.
for
Yeah,
Lost
yeah.
and Damned and the Tomb Raider add-on and stuff like that.
Worst case scenario, though, it'll cost you $20.
Yeah.
This
But it
is
seems like you'll
madness.
get a discount for going directly to the PlayStation Store,
No more
which is a good way
UMDs.
to draw people to go there.
Could this be testing the waters for PSP's 2's no disc drive craziness?
That's what it sounds like.
Although
Yeah.
it doesn't really even make sense to even have a box in a store because it's like, okay, so I go to the store and then I walk there,
They
I
want
buy
the-
something
they want
that
the
has
shelf
absolutely
space.
That's right. They
nothing.
gotta
They
have
want
that
the shelf
Well,
purpose.
yeah, they do want the shelf space, but it's like I go there, I buy something that has nothing except for the code.
The other
That
thing,
is
too, is to buy it from the PlayStation Store, you got to put in credit card information, all that kind of crap. If you don't want to do that, say you're like 8 years old and you're like, I want to play some Patapon 2, Mommy, can you do this? But Mommy doesn't want to put the credit card number on there because then you're rebuying everything, all that stupid, bowling add-ons with all the people.
You know what? If the kid does it, then he's gonna get grounded for it. Like
That's fine, but
in his own way.
You also want an easy way to be able to give it as a
Punishment
gift
comes.
or whatever else,
Right.
and you want that, you're at the counter type thing. Sam is putting wires on his head.
He doesn't have a hood to wear like we
No,
do.
no,
Yeah, no.
it's- I gotta improvise.
He's making it.
Yeah,
So there
He's
you
got
go.
a
So
snood
He's
now.
just lonely.
that's all.
He's got a
news
wire
this week.
snood.
felt left out.
That's all we got.
That's it. That was the news.
That was the news.
Now we're done.
Now we're done. Moving on with the show. Let's see. Greg, now
Yeah.
Patapon 2 is going to be coming
Yes.
in various ways.
Yeah.
But for most of the time, you have to go to the store to actually purchase games.
True.
Do you have any way to tell us what games we can purchase in stores?
Well, why don't I just dust off the official IGN list of upcoming PlayStation software HLCD Q3BN RHM7 software on all 3 platforms by the IGN editors.
I am so lost.
It's a barren week.
What could this be?
PS2 got Guitar Hero Metallica. PS3 got nothing.
Nope.
PSP, you guys, last week we said Air Conflicts was coming out, and
But it
then
kinda
it didn't come out apparently. You said it's coming out this week. They told you at EV.
Yeah.
Well, we
So,
got
there
a
you go.
copy of it.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Nope.
But we're working on getting a copy that actually functions.
Made my PSP cry. I thought it was broken.
Oh.
Clicking and whirring like crazy.
That's actually
Man.
kind of funny because 2 seconds beforehand you had dropped your PSP.
Exactly.
and
I
we
was
thought it was
so
broken.
scared. Yep.
So then every other PSP.
What did PS3 get this week?
PS3 got nothing.
Absolutely
Guitar
nothing
Hero
at all.
Metallica on PS2 is it?
Man, that's
Air
a
Conflicts that
It is
doesn't
a
work.
bear.
that is a piece of work. Jeff, do we have anything from Zombie Blog Neck? Maybe he can help us have more content this week.
You know what? Zombie Blogneck informed me that this week is full of DLC.
SmackDown.
TLC full of DLC.
That's
It's
a SmackDown.
you get a Pixel Junk Eden Encore that comes out today.
SmackDown.
That's pretty good.
I know Ryan's going to be bouncing off the wall, so Sam, hold him down because Valkyria
Oh,
Chronicles
okay.
DLC comes out today.
No.
He's
No!
about to explode.
I'm okay.
Oh, God,
I'm
no.
okay.
The Buzz Sports Quiz Pack comes out today, and there's Magic
Yeah.
Ball DLC as well, along with just
Oh,
standard.
Magic Ball, yeah, new trophies and a new
standard
level.
stuff.
Guess what I'm downloading?
That
That came
game
out really
Quite fun.
I love Smash Ball.
Me
It's a
too.
good game.
I gotta get it.
And
still.
SmackDown.
Yeah, you definitely.
New
SmackDown.
superstars, Bushwhackers, Vader, Doink the Clown.
They're resurrecting Doink.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
Well,
Oh, and Earthquake.
Oh,
There you go.
Earthquake is the
There it
name
is.
of a character from Samurai Showdown.
I think it might be the same person.
Really?
Yeah.
that'd be pretty awesome.
Is it a gigantic dude with a ball and chain?
No, he's big and fat, and he had long hair
No.
and a beard.
Different Earthquake.
Okay.
there you go.
That was no, that's just his post wrestling career.
Pick of the week seems
Pick of the week.
Seems pretty
easy.
thin.
It's got to be 93EA NRBM 3NJ5.
Is
There you
it?
go.
Wow,
Pick of the-
that
pick
is
of the week is that-
fantastic.
Is that thing whatever Greg
It's
just said?
incredible. You have to do that.
There you go.
Mind blowing.
I
Yes.
say probably
Mind
the Valkyria
bleed.
Chronicles content because that game is awesome. And
Yes.
you can download
Look here,
more
Chronicles is
content.
pretty cool.
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
Let's see. Moving on here. Trophy tips. Just a tip. Here's a good one.
Yep.
Play Hannah Montana.
God.
So, yes.
Have you gotten it? Have you achieved platinum status?
No, I need maybe like another hour. I
Okay.
played about 3 hours of it. I need maybe about. It seems like about another hour to get it.
So, yeah, Roper, we kind of hinted at this last week, right? And then over the weekend, I went home and confirmed that it is, in fact, one of the easiest platinums that has ever been created.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever seen a game where a platinum came that quickly. You said you got through it in like
4.5 to maybe 5
There you
hours
go.
at the most for a platinum.
Yeah.
most of them. You're looking
Wow.
at least another 3 hours if it's one of the easy ones.
Now,
Yeah.
keep in mind, this is a game you have to beat in order to get all the trophies and to get that platinum. You
It's
do
about
have to
the
get all the
easiest
way
thing
through
to-
it. But it is very easy. It's just time. It's just that time. You have to actually put in
Right.
that, solid 5
So what you're
hours.
saying is
But if you're just going after
torture.
trophies, 5 hours for platinum ain't
Not
too
bad.
bad.
No, not at all.
Ain't too shabby.
No, considering
you
you
go.
can get a gold like we said within the first 2 minutes of playing.
Yeah. It's
Not,
pretty.
no joke. You actually get a gold if you 5-star your first performance.
and
which
I have
weird.
5-starred every
Yeah.
single performance I've done.
yes,
Yes.
So-
it's very easy to do
Yeah,
if you
it's-
can
it's-
follow.
It's just
not
button
too hard.
you can
tapping,
follow
right?
directions.
Yeah,
No,
it's
not
pretty
even
Stick
that.
waggling.
You just, most of the time, you're just posing along with her. So she's like, raises her arms, and you just put up both joysticks, and you watch, and that's it.
Does anybody call analog sticks joysticks anymore?
I don't
No.
believe
That's
so.
interesting.
Ah,
Brought
just-
back an old school word.
Okay, cool.
I like
well,
it.
Retro,
yeah, I
man.
could have said analog sticks. I just said joysticks.
Well,
It's
you did.
faster.
Yeah. I like the word joystick because it implies fun being had with them.
Yep.
Yes,
There you go. Anyway,
it's joyous.
Sticks full of joy.
so topic of the week.
Topic of the week.
Greg, earlier this morning,
Yeah.
Capcom stopped by to
They
show
sure
you
did.
Yeah,
a little
Capcom.
Monster Hunter Freedom Unite.
That's right.
There you go. I got
nailed
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, former IGNer Jason Allen and Capcom intern Gerald.
They are here. So let's.
I refuse to. I don't want to give out his last name. I like it better that he's just intern Gerald.
Well, there you
Gerald.
go.
Intern.
So let's
Gerald the intern.
let's see what they have to say.
Cue awesome music.
So guys, thanks for coming by today. How are y'all doing?
We're doing good, man. It's good to be back over here.
Doing
So Greg, you just saw the game.
I did.
So why don't you take control of this? And but first, why don't you guys just tell us about what you showed Greg today, and we'll start there.
Well, basically, we came by with Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. This is the next iteration of Monster Hunter for PlayStation Portable. Consumers can expect to see it this summer, June 23rd.
I see, Jason Allen. Thank you very much. Now, of course, you brought a Capcom intern. He's
Hey.
whipped. Gerald, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Tell me, how many hours did you put into the last Monster Hunter?
This, the last Monster Hunter Freedom 2, I put in about 300 hours.
That's a lot of hours, Gerald.
Yes, it is a lot.
Why would you do that and intern at Capcom? You can't do both, I assume.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. What's so good about this new one? Unite.
Definitely being a longtime fan of this series, I like the little quirks of they streamline everything, so your item box is more streamlined. Sending stuff over to your box is definitely a plus instead of having to carry it back to your item box. They also included cat companion that you can bring along that will help you fight the monster, or it'll also help you distract them. And it'll also give you a chance to gather stuff for the mission, so they're bringing extra stuff to you.
So that was really important for us because we realized that it was pretty difficult to take on some of these monsters.
I got my ass
by
kicked a lot in the last game, Jason.
Exactly. And we were watching all of that ass
Yeah, I'm sure you were. Yeah, you were watching all the IGN videos,
We
right?
were like, damn,
Greg
man.
sucks.
We got to do something for Greg,
Yeah.
man.
There you go. See, I needed a helping hand. So before we had cats who would cook for us that we
Right.
could get around. First off, is there any kind of slavery movement, anti-slavery movement in this game that you were just enslaving the feline race?
Yeah,
Not
we
to
got-
mention
we got a pro-
slaughtering animals
We
for
got
no
a problem
reason.
with felines, man. It's
Yeah.
like these ridiculous looking cute creatures.
Yeah.
So we thought we should, give them more responsibilities and, pray to their human overlords and, accompany them on all these hunts. So essentially, like people like you getting your butt whooped, it's pretty tough going, and that'll have people check out pretty quick. But now you got this, NPC that'll give you support, and much the way Sheva did in Resident Evil 5. They're pretty smart. They know when to hop in, help heal you. You can basically customize their tendencies, their habits to bomb people if you need to, or basically hang back. You can make them as aggressive as you want or defensive as you want, and that's really important. So it gives you an opportunity to actually delve deep in the game and get the full rich experience that it is. And then later on, once you meet up with friends, now you're trained up, you're a little bit more confident, you can go on those 4-team hunts and really do well.
Jason, ballpark. This game sold about 3 trillion copies in Japan. Why is it so popular over there? And why do you think there's a harder time? Not harder time, but it hasn't caught fire like that in America.
Right. Well, if you look at what you saw the demo, it's an extraordinary game.
Mm-hmm.
The animations alone and the combat is deeper than you would expect. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to really experience in this game, and I think the Japanese have clicked with it. Also, it's the culture. I hear people just on the train and whatnot. They'll see somebody else playing Monster Hunter, and they're complete strangers. They probably won't even greet each other, but they will sit down and engage in a hunt with you just like that.
Yeah.
People have no problem just crossing boundaries and engaging each other through Monster Hunter in Japan. And the culture is, everybody's a lot closer together, in terms of using public transportation and whatnot. And everybody's not solitary off in their cars and stuff. So there's way more spaces to hop in and get your Monster Hunter on, whereas here in United States, we're more, internet oriented. We'll talk to each other, through GAF or what have you, and there hasn't been that much, spatial opportunities for people to engage each other in a game like this. So
you think it's the multiplayer component that really draws the people in Japan in?
Well, especially the ad hoc, because they're not necessarily reliant on the online concept, but joining each other in person, the multiplayer aspect, most definitely, that is really important. And all the deep customization that you can come up with, and really build an extraordinary character, and make your stamp in the game, and then share that with your friends. It's what we want in all our multiplayer experience. Essentially, it's why your Call of Duty 4s are so cool, and making your own presence in the game and showing off how awesome you are.
That's kind of like the bread and butter, right? Because
Exactly.
you and I can jump in, and you can be however further ahead of me in terms of hours and have different armor. Because there's no character leveling. It's not like I'm going to create a character and then take her to level 10 or level 13. Right. It's just the armor that we're changing around, or the weapons or stuff that I found on the hunt.
Yeah, you can mentor other.
There you go, nice.
Yeah, absolutely. You can mentor other users. I was speaking with an editor from another outlet the other day, and he said he was in Japan to talk about some other Capcom stuff, and a couple of folks out there were playing their Monster Hunter and stuff, and he's into it, but he's not nearly at the level these cats are. They were able to take him on a couple of prereq missions, get him armored up and stuff, give him stuff that he probably wouldn't have access to otherwise. Mm-hmm. And it's again drawing him closer into the experience, all the cool more complicated elements that you wouldn't have been able to get to on your own, and it just makes it a more extraordinary experience. I'm sure Gerald can talk to some of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. With my friend, a lot of times I would actually solo my own stuff, but it will hit a wall, and you're like, man, I can't solo this monster. I wish I had somebody to help me out, and luckily I have a friend who would always hey, can you help me out on this? And he's like, oh yeah, sure, definitely, and we'll get together and we'll play together and just go at it.
Yeah, the camaraderie aspect. This gives you so much opportunity to experience that, and just that feeling of taking down a real badass monster, that's just whooping your butt, and you come and you meet another person that's hardcore Monster Hunter, and it's the greatest achievement that you can think of is oh, you're in the Monster Hunter too? Oh, what you got going on, man? Oh, you got that for real? Oh, let me check that out. Oh man, there's this one monster that's been whooping my butt, man. Can you come along with me on that? And you can take this on the go with you anywhere. So we got E3 coming up. You know what I mean? You're gonna be seeing other editors from other outlets. At these airports. You're a Monster Hunter fan. You're gonna run into another Monster Hunter fan from another game outlet. See what they got going on. You'll finally be able to take down that badass monster that's been giving you you so much problems. And that experience alone is what makes it worth it. That's why Japan is going crazy. That's why we're hoping to make it, as equally a success here in the West.
Now, let me ask you about this. A lot of times when you talk to somebody that is hardcore into Monster Hunter, they will say, I've played the game for 200, 300, 400 hours. And do you think that that's a sort of, people that pay attention to a lot of games and will read about them but maybe haven't played Monster Hunter yet or kind of on the fence, will see these numbers and say, I don't have 300 hours. I want to be able to play a game for 10 hours and then go on to a new experience.
Right.
Do you think that can somebody get enough of it out of the 10 hours, and do you think it's intimidating to see these kind of numbers that people put into it?
Right. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'll be willing to bet you people like Gerald and all the other hardcore fans.
Nerd.
Damn, cold blooded.
I do it. That's how I do it. Like that.
These cats right here, man, I'm sure those hours snuck up on them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure they weren't sitting there banking that. That stuff snuck up. They didn't even realize they were at that level, and that's the magic of Monster Hunter. Like, you've invested all that time, and you haven't even realized it because it's that awesome. Now, that kind of goes to my other point, what I was talking about earlier, is like this game, especially with Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, we've made it a lot easier for people who are lower tier, mid tier to get in and get the full rich experience. Like the feline characters. It was a lot tougher to be that single player and go take on those monsters. Now you got this NPC that's going to accompany you and make that a lot easier. Some of the weapons that you can get to earlier on are a little bit more beefed up than you would have had otherwise. That makes things a lot more easier. So we've taken that stuff into account. We've brought in some of the richest aspects of the earlier Monster Hunters on PlayStation Portable, put that on in Monster Hunter Freedom Unite, and we hope that we basically lower that threshold so that people can get in and not feel so intimidated and know that, hey, it's going to be a lot easier for me this time because I know they're giving me items and weapons that make it easier for me to beef up and get better at this game.
Is there concern about turning off the hardcore fans like Gerald with that? I mean, I know from playing it just off the last one, but I mean there's same environments and stuff. You're getting the same missions, same guild hall stuff like that.
And that speaks to why you want to buy Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. It's crazy. We were talking I don't remember the rigid numbers, but we were talking about how successful Second G was in Japan, given the fact that how is it this pack that just has extended content can do so much better than the earlier iteration. You wouldn't expect it to outsell the previous one, and it's an expanded version of it. And I mean, because there's something in there for everybody. Yes, I've spoken about some of the mid-tier elements that make it a lot easier to hop in if you're a noob, right? But at the same time, you got some hardcore monsters that are ridiculously ruthless, and that level of challenge is what brings the hardcore for this. I mean, if you think you're badass at Monster Hunter, buy Monster Hunter Freedom Unite and see how badass you think.
Yeah, Roper. Put up or shut up. Every day over there when he's playing his guitar here, he talks about Monster Hunter. How great he is at it.
Yeah, because the two games are so closely approximated. Can I play Monster Hunter with a guitar? That's what I want to know.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, that'll be the addition.
Well, why don't you talk, Gerald, a little bit about some of the more hardcore monsters in Freedom Unite?
So definitely, a couple of the new monsters are only accessible through the higher ranks. So they're definitely hard right off the bat, and what makes it even as that new layer challenge is since this is the first time you're facing with this monster, and then you're like, man, how does this guy attack? So you gotta plan your strategies and then know when to hit, and if you mess up, well, hey, you take the penalty, get hit a lot harder, and
you see how we were up in there rolling around, we were all up under him, up in his butt and stuff like that.
We were fighting some dragons today.
Yeah, I mean,
it didn't go well. But we won't talk about
the easier ones I can do in a few minutes. That I can kill in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Right. The trouble with these hardcore, you can't do that with them. You gotta know what you're doing.
Yeah. You can't just run in there and slash.
Yeah. You gotta pick your punches with that, and that is why the hardcore is gonna be coming for this one, because I feel like that what challenged them to get them to the point that they are, they're gonna want more of that, and that's what Freedom Unite offers.
Okay. I know we're probably getting ready to wrap up. Before we do, though, I got to hit on this. I'm a bit of a PSP nerd. One of my favorite things about this game so far is that it installs to my memory stick.
Yeah.
And I can play it off that.
Yeah.
Streamlined load times.
Yeah, I mean, well, we would just want to make sure,
That's awesome. Quick load times. Everything else.
Yeah.
It's good work.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Shake my hand. Come here. There you go.
I don't know. You just had the suspicious look in your eye.
No, I believe it, Hunter. Oh, I better believe it. I hope. You better not sell me a lot here.
I mean, I
Alan.
know the people listening can't see what I was saying, but he had the sneaky look in his eye.
That's my normal look. Don't worry. I'm not leading into anything here.
And I was just like, wait a second. Am I about to get like assassinated or something?
No. Ashton Kutcher jumps out, punked.
Let me ask you this one to wrap this thing up then. So the game is huge in Japan, right? Clearly.
Yeah.
Let's pick it up here in the U.S. It's a big multiplayer game. There's a whole lot to it. You can spend hundreds and hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to talk about this game perhaps being on the PC, you would immediately say MMO.
Right.
When is the Monster Hunter MMO coming out?
Well, some of you might know like there is a Monster Hunter MMO that isn't quite what Monster Hunter is on the PSP, and we've just seen the luxury of having Monster Hunter in a portable venue just do so well. Like we're really trying to galvanize that market and give people what they want, because we're seeing like, yeah, you do want to invest all this time in it, and it seems like you can actually do that if you can bring the game on the go with you anywhere. Yeah. So as of right now, I don't know of any other plans beyond for any kind of PC stuff, because the portable is doing so well for us in Japan, and we're hoping to like make you guys aware of how awesome it is.
Here's what you do: Monster Hunter iPhone. You got the 3G connection everywhere. You're always online.
Oh, dang.
There it is.
Okay.
You got to worry about battery life, but that's a different issue.
Okay.
But there you go. I'll play it anywhere you go. You get a phone call.
Right.
Monster just chills there for a second, sits down.
Right.
Cats take over.
Right.
Talk to somebody. There you are.
Right. Okay.
So there you go. Take that back to the bosses of Japan.
Okay. All right.
Tell them I gave them that idea.
Okay.
Monster Hunter iPhone, and then send me a free code when it comes out.
Okay. Roper pitch. The rope. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna see about that.
All right. Very good. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in here.
All right.
Greg, you have anything to add before we kick out of this?
Jason Allen, you're a sellout for leaving IGN.
I know, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Now you can show up in your nice clothes that you can actually afford with your nice salary.
I'm all old, man. I mean, if people saw what I was back then and they see me now, man, it's
different person.
It's remarkable.
Sad day.
I'm sorry.
Look at this, Gerald. One day this could be you.
See, I'm just like you.
I know,
now,
and you're an
Jay.
intern. God, you look like me and Roper.
I'm sorry about that, man, but I got much love for y'all over here at IGN. I'm on AIM. You guys hit me up whenever you need anything.
I did hit you up quite.
Yeah, most definitely. Got much love for IGN. Capcom loves IGN.
Very good.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're back. Back to. I mean, what do I mean back? The show was just been going on. They were just. They were right here. Right here in real time.
No,
We'll try
that's
it again.
All right.
We're live.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, and that's
You can
right.
say
I
anything
forgot.
you want here, and you can't edit it out, such
Yeah.
as 2G, NT, BD, BG, BJ, 2E.
Yes.
There you go.
Booyah.
By the way, if you try to decipher these numbers and letters that Greg is spilling out, and they don't do anything for you, let's say, don't ask us for more. There will be other ways to do it, but we will have expelled them all by the time that you get around to emailing us. So
Yep.
there you go.
Also, if it drives you mad, not our fault.
Yeah. But there will
You
be
are staring into the mouth of
Smell the
madness.
writing on the wall.
Exactly. Yeah. If you start scrawling everywhere, people are figuring out little spirals everywhere.
But we will come back to that in a little bit.
Indeed.
So, if these aren't working for you, skip to the end of the show maybe, and then come back.
This is madness.
Anyway,
This
time for some reader
is
mail.
Reader mail.
Reader mail. Joe Mill. Mill.
I have a touch of
Male
malaria.
nutrition?
That's I like that one. That one's brand new. I like it.
I didn't like that
No,
one.
that's been on our list for a really long
Come
time.
down
We
with
haven't said it
mail.
like that
Yeah.
before.
He just hasn't said the
I have a
phrase.
touch of malaria.
Well, no, it says malaria, but it doesn't say I have a touch of malaria. I like it.
I
He
added
hasn't
that,
said the
yeah.
phrase. That's
All right. First piece of mail I'm going to read comes from the first person to post in this. When I went to read the questions on the boards, there was a good 20% more than normal. I'm like, really? It spikes. Every month it's basically the same number of questions, and this month it's a little bit more.
Oh.
And I was like, what's going on here? And then I realized what it is. Every single person on there wants to know where the hell the PS1 games are on PSN.
Which we've asked many a time. Yep.
Yeah. So now here's the thing: Sony is not making any official comments. They're not telling anybody anything, but we may be hearing about anything soon. That's all that we know.
Yes.
Maybe news soon. So hold on to your ponies around the thing from the circus. The little horse riding thing.
Indeed.
Hold on to your ponies.
We
from the-
understand your ire,
Yes.
but news shall be coming soon.
I will say this though. Sony knows that people want PS1 games on the PSN. They know this for a fact.
Yeah.
And
It's just taking time.
yeah, and we will see what kind of reaction comes from that. But it's not a question of Sony doesn't want to do it for, I don't know. Anyway, we'll hear more about that
They
soon.
know.
But you know, give it a short period of time. I would say by E3 we should. If nothing gets announced by E3, then don't ever think about it again because it's never going to happen.
Yep.
But by E3 we may hear some good news.
Yay.
So there you go. Bredesen writes in, says, with all the buzz around some of the new PSP hardware, do you think it'd be more of a DS to DSi jump or more of a full-on PSP to PS2 jump?
Now is he talking PSP to PSP too?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I said PS. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. What I think is going to happen, I think that one of two things. I think either we're going to see the full-on PSP 2, which I'm thinking we'll see at E3, but I think we're going to see some sort of new PSP at E3, or what could happen, and this would kind of not really be a graphical jump, but what could happen is the PSP hardware gets put into a new package with a touchscreen, no UMD drive or whatever. So what we could see is the same graphics, but in a new package and stuff. So you would need different games to play on it, and there would be games made specifically for it, especially if there's a touchscreen, obviously. So I think in either case, we're going to see it's going to be it's a new system, even if some of it's recycled. That's what I think.
I hope they don't go 4,000 though. I mean, like they've had enough. They've had enough problems with the 3,000. Like it's one of those
problems?
Yeah, just ghosting that makes Clemence's eyes cross. But it's just one of those things that it's just one of those things where it's like you pretty much just go all the way.
Wait, there's
and come
no
out with
ghosting
two.
on the 3000. There's weird interlacing stuff
Yes.
that happens.
Well-
But the ghosting is fixed.
Yeah.
They just traded one problem for another.
That's true.
So that's what the 4000's got to be now. They got to fix that problem.
Yeah, they have to fix that problem to
it's
make
on from
another
there.
problem?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they got to come up with something new.
Do you see a lot of interlacing
The
there, Sam?
4000
What's that?
Do you see a lot of interlacing in 3000?
Yeah, I do. I can see it.
I
Yep.
never do.
The 4000 is just going to be a drawing
Any game
of
that
the
has
PSP.
quick.
that
That would be awesome.
that fixes
It'll
all
also
its
be
problems.
$650.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
well, it's a very expensive, very cool drawing.
Yes.
It's probably the
High
hippest drawing you've
resolution.
ever seen in your entire life.
Yep.
Oh my
It's drawn by hand for you in real time every day.
Some guy's just sitting there drawing.
Yeah.
But he's not allowed to draw like God of War Chains of Loose 2 or something until the game comes out,
Yeah.
and then he's allowed
That'd
to
be
start drawing for you.
Those stick figure cradles going. Oh.
But he has the problem where your thumbs are on top of the drawing, so he can't see what you're pressing. And so sometimes he's like, "What did you press there? I pressed right." Okay, and he draws him going to the right.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Motion lines and everything.
Yeah. Sean9986 writes in. He says, "Greg, out of
Yes.
Arkham Asylum and Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
which do you think will turn out to be better?"
Oh, AJPB CGBJ AD5N. What will turn out to be better is a very tough question. I haven't seen. I mean, we've only seen so little of Arkham Asylum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's been. That's a really hard question.
But you have Crystal Skull vodka.
I do have Crystal Skull vodka from my Ghostbusters trip. I don't know. I really don't know, to tell you the truth. I don't know if
many
there's.
mystical
And it
phenomena.
doesn't seem fair to answer.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played a lot of Ghostbusters, and I've played next to nothing of Arkham Asylum. They both seem like they'll be fun. They both seem like they'll be different types of game, though, altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dom OSX writes in and says, there was some decent update on Final Fantasy 13 info last week. Ryan, speak about it. I will tell you before Ryan gets to this one. So, clearly, if you've been watching the interwebs, people have the Final Fantasy 13 demo now. Came out in Japan. We have ordered it. We obviously don't live in Japan, so we have to import it. We do have movies up on the site, which came from our Japanese correspondent. He has posted some stuff, so we do have content there. Last week, I believe it was, he wrote about the details that are in it. But we have our own on order, which should be here shortly, maybe even tomorrow.
Possibly at the earliest.
Yeah.
It's
And
more
then-
likely on Monday.
Yeah, probably on Monday. Ryan will be handling coverage on the demo. He'll be writing impressions on it. We'll do all sorts of video stuff for it. So we'll have a bunch of content coming out from it. from
Massive
there.
content.
Right. But Ryan, speak on what you've seen so far and what looks cool.
Oh my God! But first, I would like to answer another question that it relates to this. When a reader asked, "What is the difference between Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy 12 Versus?" So I think both of those times
13.
he meant 13. But the difference is that they're different games and they cover different themes and everything like that. And we
So the
haven't
difference
seen,
is that they're different?
their difference is that
Wow.
they're different. They occupy the same sort of universe, but Versus is going to be more of an action game, and 13 is the proper RPG that everybody has come to expect from the franchise. And from what I've seen of it, it looks amazing. It's actually running very well. Oh, what do you think that's going to fall there, Greg? You're tapping a picture up here in the
I was
podcast.
checking the Call of Duty poster.
Oh man!
I didn't mean to distract you.
You
I
kinda-
forget that I can't move while you speak.
Well, yeah, you can't. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, when you tap something that's hanging over my head, it makes it look like you're gonna start.
Vampire
Strike.
Strike!
It's coming down from Jeff.
That was a good vampire story. That was just a pounding.
Anyway,
table.
Brian,
continue your
Anyway,
whatever you're doing.
What I'm really thank you. What I'm really happy with is that the demo of Final Fantasy 13 is already running better than a lot of the games Square Enix has released in the past year and a half, including Last Remnant. So it looks fantastic. It looks like it's sort of a cross between the 12 battle system and the White Knight Chronicles battle system, which is you select a bunch of options in real time, and then they sort of play out after you've selected them. So you queue up attack, upward punch, follow them up, jump, and then it all happens.
Which is kind of like the VAT system in Fallout, where you pick a bunch of things and you say go,
and it's
and they happen.
you press the go button, and then it happens. So it looks
Fallout.
really cool, and I'm excited.
It's a good game.
And I'm excited for playing this demo, even though I won't be able to understand anything that's going on.
That's right.
You gotta take some classes, man.
Yeah.
Some Japanese classes?
Yeah, I'll take some
I
classes.
tried in college, and it didn't work out so well.
Screw that college stuff.
He got stabbed in the face.
Stabbity.
That's where the
Next
scar
piece of
came
mail
from.
comes from 2779. Says,
One of our favorites.
Yes, it says, in Infamous, is there any shade of gray situations or points you can achieve it, or is it just being infamous or famous?
You could. There is on the little meter on your HUD that tells where you are. There is that section of walking the line. But as far as choices, you have to make either the clearly good or clearly bad one. There's no. I'll zap one of you and then let the rest eat the food.
Yeah,
Well,
I think in the context of the way that the game works, there would not be an easy way, because you don't pick what you're going to do from a menu. You let it play out in front of you, or take part in it, whatever you're going to do. And were it a kind of menu thing where you had 3 or 4 options and you could kind of do stuff in the middle, that might work. But that's not how they did it. And I like the way that it's implemented in the game, but having that shade of gray type thing doesn't.
You basically have to pick a good one, then a bad one, and a good one, then a bad one.
Exactly. Well, and it wouldn't work anyway because all the powers are based on how strong your alignment is one way or the other. So you
never have awesome powers.
Exactly. Yeah, you can't buy them. You cannot unlock them unless you're either bad or badass.
So there you go.
Because good is bad.
And then a couple people wanted to know who will be reviewing the game.
Greg Miller.
Greg Miller's
right
on
here.
time for that one.
Wow, they didn't know that already?
Yeah,
That's
you
surprising.
There was an assumption. People just wanted to know.
Early in the running, I thought Ripper was going to fight me for it.
Yeah.
But I was able to pull ahead with my mad skills and 7KE6FGBH96C9.
Now, see, I thought that was going to go straight to Bishop, but
There you go.
straight to the Bishop.
That would have been awesome, but no, that's not how
Wouldn't
it
it
happens.
just surprise you when you're like, oh, by the way, Sam, you're reviewing God of War 7.
Yeah, right. At that point, we'll have a
No
heart
one can
attack,
live at such a
punch my
speed.
chest, fall to the ground dead,
Oh, no.
and I'll never be able to
He
review
came
it.
so close.
The irony would be so sweet.
Yes.
Oh.
Maze Rider writes in and says, are there any generally good PS3 games that you think get massively overlooked? He was looking at Jeff's review for the Unreal Tournament 3 Titan Pack and thought that it got shafted since it was being released during the time when Call of Duty World of War was still big. And so, is this the case? One for me, it was Calling All Cars.
Yes.
That game.
Yes.
That game was
Last
awesome.
Guy.
And Last Guy.
Oh, I love this guy.
Yeah, but Calling All Cards for sure. I would still play that if we could get people together. If that, when it first came out, there was a huge group of people playing. There was a giant community you could go play with.
Right.
And now you go on there,
But
tumbleweeds.
it died pretty fast
Yeah,
from what I
yeah,
saw.
burned out.
It wasn't,
And the biggest culprit in this entire thing, Valkyria Chronicles, no, I was
You're
right.
thinking
Yeah.
Folklore.
Valkyria.
I'm thinking Valkyria Chronicles. That's just now I get White Knight Chronicles mixed up in my
You were
head.
about to say Final Fantasy 13. Nobody
Yes.
cares about that game.
No,
Yeah, you should.
Valkyria
Go look
Chronicles.
that game up.
I guess
Might be good.
Yeah, was not received super well in terms of how much it sold.
No
from what
trophies.
I've heard.
Part
Yeah,
of it
no
was
trophies,
part of it was the
but-
timing, but the whole thing with Unreal, it wasn't necessarily so much the whole World at War thing as much as it is that when Unreal came out, it blew up and then it just died out. And
Yeah.
so the fact that it came out, the Titan Pack came out when it did, it's one of those things that the community has essentially moved on. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so few people actually coming close to that game anymore that you really have to find people that are just buying it now to actually take advantage of
Yep.
it.
Prototype 23 writes in and says, will the Michael Scott Paper Company be successful?
No.
Dunder Mifflin?
I think that they will get purchased by Dunder Mifflin.
Really?
That's what I think will happen, or to merge or something, some kind of crap. I think they're going to have to work people back into Dunder Mifflin.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
get purchased by-
eventually they're going to come back to it. I just don't know how they're
Oh,
going to do it.
wow.
yet.
I
I was
haven't
trying
been
to figure
keeping
this
up.
out.
Did he start his own paper company?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't watched an episode in a while.
Oh yeah, he did.
Jim got killed in a car accident, and it inspired him to do this.
Oh, my God. That's
and
terrible.
then they revealed that Kevin is actually a woman.
Wow.
Yeah.
That show got kind of weird.
Yeah, it was very strange.
Huh.
Justin writes in. He says, "I have a question about Infamous. Will there be any collectibles to hunt down, like pigeons in GTA 4? More than anything, I'm wondering how I'm going to stretch out playtime, keep up the good work. Peace and beyond.
Yeah, there are. There are fragments of the initial blast.
Shards.
Blast shards, right, of the initial thing that went off in your hands. You pick them up, and if you collect a certain number of them, it gives you a new power cell, so you can store more energy and go off and be cooler and cooler.
Yeah.
And then there's all the side missions and stuff, and I'm sure there's crap.
Plus,
that we don't know
you
about.
can kind of grind it a little bit because you get experience for killing guys. So if you want to do your little leveling up and stuff, you can run around and do that. Shoot guys on rooftops.
Word.
There you go. And last piece of reader mail that I have comes from Rob.
Rob?
Rob.
Okay.
Oh.
He says he's got a quick question. He says, in your opinion, do you think it's a good strategy that Criterion is taking, making a lot of patches to burn out Paradise instead of making a new game altogether? I personally feel like he likes the free content, but he's wondering if it's helping them as a business. Criterion is not only working on content for Burnout Paradise.
That is correct.
Criterion is doing other things. I honestly don't know what they are yet.
One does not exclude the other. It doesn't mean that you can't have both.
Yeah.
How much?
Or that they can dedicate a separate side team.
How much free content do they put out? It seems like they're putting out like the party pack wasn't free and
The party pack
the
wasn't
cars weren't free.
I believe there's 3 packs before party pack.
Was Codename Cagney free?
Yeah, all the ones before that were free. Because like the motorcycle thing was
Motorcycles were
free.
yeah, I remember.
And then the party pack was not free, and the island thing coming out reasonably soon. Still keeps getting kind of slid back, but it'll be coming out kind of soon. But anyway, Criterion is working on something. My guess, I've been saying this for since the bikes pack got announced, is that they're making Road Rash.
That'd be awesome.
I really think
Oh
that
my
Criterion
God,
is
that'd be
making Road
awesome.
Rash. But we will see if that happens or not.
They could always announce Black 2.
Or Black 2. God, Black was so awesome.
Can we hope?
That was a game that people overlooked because it was only 4 or 5 hours long. But
but those were 4 or 5 hours of pure awesome.
Yeah, if you never
stuff blowing up. Like
if you never played Black and have a PS2 or backwards compatible system, go get that game. And I think that isn't it one of the Xbox classics that you can download?
Yes, you can download it.
So if you have an Xbox 360 and don't have a PS2 or whatever,
Don't use an Xbox 360.
yeah, well, whatever. But that game is rad. Anyway, so that's the end of all the mail I got.
A9BAEPBKMBEE.
Slow down.
Those are 2 E's at the end.
Yeah.
Slow your roll.
If you want to submit your questions to Podcast Beyond, write into beyond@ign.com. Or go to the boards at boards.ign.com. If you're an insider, you can get onto the thing where people post in there. That's actually easier to read, so if you have both, then please do it that way. But you can write to beyond@ign.com. That's all very good. Let's just do a quick around the room what everybody's been playing. Greg, what have you been playing?
Lots of Wolverine. Lots of Patapon.
Lots of cutting.
Yeah, lots of cutting people in half, taking off their heads, lots of blood.
I have to say, Wolverine is the angriest man that has ever existed, possibly more than the Hulk.
You think Wolverine's angrier than Kratos?
Absolutely. Every other second I am listening to that game, I just hear Wolverine growl or scream.
Well, that's how he, when he's attacking, he's all revved up on the adrenaline.
Very loud, angry man.
Yeah, see, Kratos doesn't make sounds when he's attacking. He just lets the blood fly. Yeah.
Well, I think doesn't he have his little? I mean, Kratos has a big sort of.
Actually, I think you're right if you do if you do certain things, but I think in the normal attack thing, he doesn't. Anyway,
he grunts.
Yeah, Ryan, what are you playing?
I'm working on Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus for the PS2.
That's good, Sam. Man.
I'm not reviewing too much right now, but I'm playing the heck out of Patapon 2 because
There you go. I just started playing that yesterday, so I'm only a couple of missions in.
Really freaking good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far.
Good.
It's cool.
Good.
Yes, it is.
There you go.
Liking it more than the first one? I know you didn't play a whole lot of that one, but
Yeah,
it's cool.
I mean, I like it a lot. Jeff, what are you playing?
Bionic Commando.
Bionic Commando.
Exactly. And Resident Evil 5.
There you
I
go.
actually hadn't had a chance to start it up, so I've just started
Yeah, I
getting
haven't
into
played
it.
that either.
Oh, actually, I'm playing Dead Space.
Oh,
Speaking
really?
of old games, yeah,
Going
I
all the way
just did
back?
it first time.
Really?
Yeah, I had not played it yet, and I'm like halfway through it, maybe 3/4.
You like it?
What do you think?
the crap
Yeah,
out of it.
Isn't it
great,
so
dude.
good?
What a great game.
Fantastic
Still
game.
scares me too much for me to play.
It's
it.
a
Are you
little,
serious?
it's a little
Yeah.
spooky, but it's more about tension than anything
Yeah,
else. Like I'm
it's-
not
Yeah, I
too freaked
can't.
out because I can just gun down guys.
I
So,
can't.
and I'm going through
I
it
get
just
too-
with the plasma cutter the entire thing.
Nice. You got
Nice.
right off the bat.
Yeah.
Good
That's right.
thinking. Good
Going
thinking.
for it.
There you go.
Yes.
Let's see what we got going on here. Editor beatdown. Anything happening?
No, we're all swamped with work. You and I are going to be gone too, so I'm trying to get things in order.
That's right. Greg
my
and I will be
affairs.
gone.
Sam's
parts
gonna be gone
of next
too,
week.
I am. Yep.
And Sam will be there. So
be hanging
we'll be seeing some games we'll be writing about
Lots
at some
of
point.
games, yeah.
Yeah. And we, depending on what we're allowed to say, we'll do something from the event. But I don't know what we can talk about yet.
I think we'll be able to say that we're at a Sony event.
Yeah.
I think that'll pretty much be the
Yeah.
summary.
But there'll be a lot of the games that we'll be seeing have been there before. We'll just be seeing new stuff. So we'll say, yay, cool, still. watch out for
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Anyway,
What if it sucks now?
But
Yeah.
in that note, I'm sure, Greg,
will
you'll
hope
probably be up for doing more Killzone 2 at some point in the
Oh, yeah,
future.
totally,
right?
yeah.
when the pack comes out,
When
Well, even
things,
before that, yeah, I'd be
when
back
things
down
slow
with it.
down a little
Yeah.
bit for us.
yeah. So there you go on that
I'd
one.
also be up for F6CD FN B8 886K. This
Yes.
is actually probably a good point to talk about this too.
Yeah,
Probably
okay.
is.
So the one piece of reader mail that I skipped over,
Oh, okay.
and this will explain what's happening here in case you haven't tried to type any of these into the PlayStation Network, is that Fat Princess Beta.
Yes.
Fat
It's
going on.
Oh man.
All the codes
Fizz
that Greg
it.
has read.
I've been
Are probably
stealthily
already
inserting
claimed.
codes into this
You
podcast.
probably didn't know
I didn't
this.
know.
Indeed.
To the naked ear, you probably couldn't see what was happening.
Yeah.
But I
Because you
wanted
don't see out of your ears, but
yeah.
So there you go. So there's a Fat Princess Beta coming up.
Yes.
The-
Interesting about this, right, is that we're talking about Editor Beatdown. I will be playing Fat Princess every Tuesday and Thursday, which is when these beta keys work, or when the beta works, from 6 to 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Does the beta only work during this time?
Only during those times. Since it's a multiplayer game, you figure
Right.
they need to have it so they're making sure people are playing in these specific
Right.
They got
instances.
to concentrate that.
So you
shitty-
for sure can find Game Over Greggy on there playing. I'm
Concentrate
assuming
the fatness.
Some of us will be. I know our new downloads editor, Damon Hatfield, will be on with his PS3 playing the heck out of this too. So look for that, huh?
That has to be cut.
I know, didn't
Yeah.
I launched into a little.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was just about to say.
Hey, so remember it's 3130. Cut that.
I'll just
3130.
say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Damon Hatfield.
Okay.
'cause
Stop
he's playing
sliding
Yeah.
it so hard, Jeff. God.
Whoa.
We should make him hit of the week.
that has to be
Okay.
cut
Is
too.
that our next
Oh, that would
segment
be
too?
awesome.
Yeah, it'll be on there. But do you know his thing?
Wait.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Dame Zero, just
Okay.
like before.
Does
Okay.
does
Yeah.
everything we just said gets cut?
Yes.
Yeah, it'll get
Yes.
cut up to now, I guess.
Okay, beautiful.
Also on there playing will be none other than Damon Hatfield, who just picked up a PS3,
Yes.
making him hit of the week. Anybody? Hit
Yes, I
hit
can-
hit-
There's no hit
No.
confirmed yet.
I was
You got-
thinking somebody would yell hit of the week.
no.
Hit of the week!
There you go.
Yeah.
All
Anyways,
Not
his name
confirmed.
is Dame Zero, just like Dame like his name.
Well-
DAEM
Yeah.
Zero. ZERO.
Yeah.
Dame Zero.
I was going to say his name's spelled a little different than most Damons.
Yeah, true. So I'm glad to fix that.
DAEM.
Man, we got off track here.
Zero.
Anyways, Fat Princess Beta Keys.
Fat
Wait,
princess.
hold on.
Because I need confirmed.
Okay, now we can continue.
Excellent.
2NCLBDB. Oh, crap.
Try that again. Try it again.
2NCLPDBRTFLR.
There you go.
I've been passing out these codes, like I said, stealthily. However, I still have a handful left. You are welcome to email us at beyond@ign.com with the subject line, "Hey, Greg, pick this one." I swear to God, do not email these after Tuesday.
No, don't even email them after Thursday. If you're not listening
Oh,
to
it
this,
is Thursday. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's Tuesday.
if you're not,
sometimes.
today is Thursday
Don't
the
email them after-
16th. If
No,
you
no more.
do not send the email on Thursday the 16th, don't bother.
we still get resistance
will-
cover
Holy
votes.
crap! Yeah, so
Yeah.
last year,
story's
I want
down
to say
and
it was
dead.
like September, we ran a thing on the Resistance 2 cover for the collector's edition, and a lot of people voted in. We had, I don't know, a crap load of emails about this thing, and people are still writing in to vote for the cover, even though the game's been out since last October or
Even
whatever.
worse, we're getting questions for the Little Big Planet beta
And-
code. It's like,
Beta.
the game's on shelves. Go
So
get it.
If you do not
Why don't you
email
own
us,
this?
Don't email after today.
don't email after Thursday, April 16th.
2009.
Yeah, 2009. don't try again in 2010.
3 years later.
Yeah, 3 years
Yeah.
later. Can I
It's
get
always
one
after
of
midnight
those fat
sometimes. You can never
princess?
feed
I
gremlins.
love Fat Princess.
If you
love
do
cake.
not, if none of these codes worked for you, or you do not get one from emailing us, we will be hosting more codes for insiders. So that will be going up at some point. We're kind of waiting to.
I'm pretty sure they're going to be up today.
Yeah, we're waiting to hit the button. So it may actually be gone by the time you hear
Yeah,
this.
I
But
think it will be, but
yeah, probably.
Good luck to you.
But if not, be on the lookout for that. Insiders will be able to get some codes. So that is all good.
The codes will not be working yet, right? I mean, they're probably going to go
That's
live
what we were
next
told,
week.
right? No.
I can't remember.
No, but the thing is that like you can put the code in and get your code redeemed, and that way it's already
so that is-
saved
okay, cool.
on your account, and
you're
nobody
s-
else can
you're
take
sa-
it.
I thought I was in the assumption we'd be playing tonight. Is that not what you're saying?
I didn't know for sure.
I
thought
don't know for either.
No, it should
well,
be one of those where like
we
if
better,
you
'cause
input a code before anybody else inputs the code, it saves it on your
no.
account.
But he's
and
talking
that
about
way you
actually
won't
being
be
able to
to-
physically
was-
play the
you-
game.
Exactly.
You
I was
might be able,
saying-
you might be able to play it. They could possibly have it up. I wouldn't be surprised if they.
No,
if
I
they
meant
give
the
you
actual
code.
redemption of the codes. I didn't know if they were going to go live.
They are live.
Yes,
You can redeem
they
your
are.
code
Sweet.
right now.
There you go.
Get Fat Princess Beta.
There
so
you go.
those
But
of
you might not be able to play
naked,
it.
naked
Yeah.
seeing ears.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yes, naked seeing ears.
That pretty much brings us to the end of the show. Little housekeeping here.
well,
Huh?
I just have the tournament stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beast World. I see. Oh, there it is, Beast. I'm sorry, Beast.
That's okay. Well, we haven't explained it in real quick, so I'll just say that if you don't already know what these tournament winners are all about, on the IGN boards in the PS3 lobby, mainly organized by Beast786, they hold a lot of PSN challenges and multiplayer stuff. So if you'd like to get involved with the community and play games with everybody, definitely check out the boards. Beast reported back to me because they're having a massive Street Fighter 4 tournament with 21 people, which is pretty cool for a fighting game. It's hosted by SG4RYT. That was not a beta key. That's just the guy's name. They're down to 4 people in the semifinals. Link to Tapast is playing as Blanca and Sagat versus Pimpo-Matic, who is playing as Akuma or Ryu. And on the other side, or I should say, I always say it wrong. Did I say it right?
What?
Ryu or Ryu?
Doesn't matter. It's been...
Nerds!
Yeah.
It's Ryu. And then Solid Snake 81 is playing as Ryu. And Sakura versus Crumpleuppagus, who is playing as Guile, Zangief, and Rufus in all caps. That's what the semifinals is going to be. Very exciting stuff. Congratulations to the semifinalists, and thank you, Beast786. You are the Beast.
Okay, back to the housekeeping. If you have iTunes, like pretty much every single person in the U.S., or in the world, I guess, not even just the U.S., but also the U.S., that's also included in what I'm saying.
Everybody, yeah.
Anyway,
Yes, it's part of the world.
please go on there and rate the show. It helps get the word out. More people will get it. Then everybody's listening to Beyond, and we'll take over. And then when you're in class and you say Beyond, everyone will know what it means.
Yep.
You will be part
Can
of
you
the cool
imagine
kids.
that world?
Yes, it's like the Bill and Ted thing, where like right now it's like there's like people watching us in the garage, right? We're like rocking out in there. We don't know how to play our instruments yet.
everybody will
But then
be
all of a sudden,
united.
Rufus will come back in the telephone
Phone
time
booth.
machine, phone booth, and then when you go into the future, 40 years from now, you'll look at us and people will be on these
Everybody will talk
pedestals, like
Everyone will
instead
be
of making the
united by
guitar
wild
thing, they'll all be saying
stallions.
Beyond,
Yep.
and it will
Wild
make perfect
stallions.
sense. And then we'll bring back the guy
Beyondian
from Faith No
stallions.
More, even though he got kicked out of the band. We'll bring him back up into the future. He'll teach rock classes, and the future will be
Indeed.
Beyondian.
We'll still be getting
Beyondian-
emails
the Beyondian
for
future.
Fat Princess codes.
Yes, we will.
Beyond.
We will still be getting emails about
So
that.
there you go. Also, if you want to follow us, if you have Twitter installed, please do follow us on Twitter. We have a general IGN one, which is just IGN.com. There's no dot in there because you can't have dot in your name, I don't think.
Is that the
IGN.com.
name?
Yeah, I do.
Funny, I always thought it
IGN.com.
was B2GA2JBGRQKN.
There you go.
Is that an N or an M?
That was an N as in Ryan's
Nancy?
a Nancy boy.
You're such a funny guy.
That
Just
just
trying to
happened.
cover your freaking tracks,
Oh, I
buddy.
freaking nerdled you, son! Vampire Strike!
So there you go. So follow us on Twitter. I'm also on Twitter.
That's going to annoy the hell out of her.
Yeah, probably. Whatever. You can follow me on Twitter. I always upload photos from the podcast. We're doing it. My name on there is just Chris_Roper. Does anybody else here have a Twitter account?
No.
Yeah, but
I
not
do
related
not.
to IGN.
You know. Okay. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
They
TPS
could
editors.
still follow
Yeah.
you if they
All right,
like
fine.
you.
TPS editors.
Yeah.
For my
TPS.
That
That
There you
sounds like you're plugging another site.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not. I will not say what those letters
Where are
stand
your
for.
reports? Your DPS reports.
Anyway, so
Exactly. Well, that was the idea, but someone took it.
Yeah.
Jerks.
Oh.
that pretty much brings us to the end of the show. Anybody else have anything to add before we get to the song?
Nope.
Greg, you got nothing else to add?
I nothing.
Are you
Oh, BAPBFBBB4N9B.
He's actually made
That was the real code. That was the real code.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna make up a code. Let's see if this works for anything.
Ooh, yeah, good call.
CP9F
All right.
0KLY PRN7.
That's it. Bam.
That's it.
There
Done.
you go.
You're about to give another.
Just keep going.
So there you
For
go.
the rest of time.
Maybe that'll unlock God of War 3.
That would be God. Congratulations. You've bought everything on the store.
Man, you know what?
You've now earned
If that
15
really
platinums.
was some kind of like lifetime membership to all PlayStation products, and they just keep sending
Yeah.
you like PS4s, PS5s, then you have me to thank for making up that random number.
You have just unlocked
send us
15
those
platinum
systems.
trophies.
Also,
it just
play
locks
those-
you out
play
of the
those-
PlayStation network.
Play those numbers.
Yeah.
Maybe it does. Play those numbers in the lottery. Maybe they'll win.
Ooh.
There you go.
Like the lost numbers.
It'd be kind of like that. So you have to translate letters into numbers, and it won't make any
Someone
sense.
should try and plug in the
Hexadecimal
lost numbers
translation.
to the PSN and see what happens.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
I forgot what they were. I used to have them memorized, but now I forgot.
The what now?
Tool.
The lost numbers, the sequence.
Oh, right.
That's, you know,
Which we can't
all
utter. We'll all
famous.
die.
Yeah, we could probably say it. The actors say it all the time, and they're fine, except always getting
No,
arrested
they're
for
all robots.
DWIs and
They're all
stuff.
robots. They've been killed.
There you
Replaced by
go.
robots.
The robot.
Yep.
What do we got as far as music to put out the show?
I think we should see that.
Oh, boy.
We talked about this a long time ago. I finally remembered we should do the Hannah Montana song.
Oh,
okay.
You
Yeah.
get
What?
the best of both worlds when you're doing your thing and you rock out the show. You get the best of both worlds. Put them both together and you know you got the best of both worlds.
Got the limo out front.
What the?
And you're going to the movie premiere. You got HJM, QDBK60 and me.
Whoever thought that a girl like me would double as a superstar?
You get the best of both worlds.
What the hell just happened? I blame this game and its platinums. I really do.
No, don't shush everybody.
Got the bubbles now. 49.
Oh dear Lord.
Best of both worlds.
Wow.
Beyond. Oh, hey, I didn't see you come in there. Probably looking for some codes, but as you can see, this is my shower. There's no codes here. Just Greg. This is where I come by and peel off my layers.